All right, to follow, to live one's life according to a role model, someone's teaching. So he's talking about following these teachings. Okay, maybe. The afterlife of an author in the sense of their posthumous published work or reputation. So it's kind of following the reputation of Eldad, you know what I'm saying? The afterlife of the author. Okay, let's go. So I then explore the nachleben of the Prester John and Eldad literatures in later versions in other languages, their uses and the possible connections between them from a methodological point of view, while the first part of this article relies on philology, which is pretty much language, right? Studies of language, in order to establish the genetic relationship between these texts. The second part will employ the stance of the new philology. And, I'm dropping this for you, so get the fine print. Let me know what y'all see. And the study of transmission in order to portray their cultural relationships. Accordingly, in exploring later versions of this literature, I will not seek to reveal the original work that informs these different versions, but rather will treat each of them as a unique composition that bears witness to the society that generated and consumed it. All right, so I'm getting this so you can get the psychology behind it, that this ain't no play. That this researcher, Mika Perry, is on an investigation just like us, and they got their own, hard hits and pivot points they're using, and we got our frequency that we've been, surfing in, you know what I'm saying? All praise HaWah, man. So Halal HaWah, we're going to search for HaWah and King David, right? Prester, king, Prester, priest. John means king. John means king. So through this analysis, I present an entangled history of the beginning in the utopian land or the beautiful land or the promised land of Prester John. And the Jewish or Hebrew tribes among two units of medieval European society, the Christian majority and the Jewish minority. Subsequently, I demonstrate these two groups' cultural entanglement, how ideas resonated from one to the other, and how these two sub-societies constituted each other. In a broader outline, this study is intended to illustrate the ways in which medieval societies used the imaginaire to construct reality. Or, the Christians had to use their imagination to create, a symbol that they can now use as a crusade tool. Prester John became someone that they had to create a narrative that he's there to help them. So they're looking for help against the Moors, right? They're looking for help against the Moabite tribes and Canaanite tribes and all the other tribes. They got to face these Christians, right? So, and these Christians are also black people, you know what I'm saying? So this is still tribal war. The portrayal contributes to a once revolutionary and now well-accepted approach to Jewish-Christian relations in the Middle Ages. This approach assumes that both Jews and Christians were far more aware of each other's beliefs than had once been taught or thought, and the exchange of ideas between them far more dynamic than the facade of polemical literature would lead us to believe. The key to this approach is to read Jewish-Christian relations through a wider variety of sources and methodologies, including ritual, fiction, liturgy, literary criticism, sociology, and anthropology. All right, a lot of big words, man. So let's go. Man. The accounts of Eldad the Danite and Prester John. All right, modern research struggles to identify Eldad. Was he a Kari, Samaritan, liar, merchant, crook, or simply a fantasizing storyteller? Did he actually exist, right? All of what we're talking about when we talk Khalifa, they're going to call Queen Khalifa imaginary. Prester John's imaginary. Moses is imaginary. The Creator's imaginary. The firmament's imaginary. Everything's imaginary. Dragons are imaginary. Managa, you became a myth. You're imaginary. Did he actually exist? These questions have been further complicated by the crucial textual difficulty. The best sources about Eldad are late 15th to 16th centuries. And if you put that together, that this could be happening in the 15th century with Prester John instead of the 12th century, then man, objects in the mirror might be closer than what they appear. Say it with me, Manag. Objects in the mirror may be closer than they appear, man. Prester John might be way more recent. King David might be way more recent. 1400 recent. 1500s recent. Yeah, now you in the, almost in the, damn near in the Tecumseh flow, man, by the time you put this together, man. So let's go. Ahab to Tecumseh. Amen. Tecumseh tried to unite the tribes, right? So, all right. So the best sources are about Eldad are late 15th and 16th century, whereas earlier extant sources are fragmentary and comprehensible only in light of the latter ones from a systematic analysis of this material. David J. Wasserstein concludes that both its dating and attribution to Eldad are uncertain, and that these problems prevent future discussion of the subject. Oh, yes, David Wasserstein. Yeah, everything's uncertain. All right, so our primary source concerning Eldad is an alleged responsum. And again, you can get the gist. You can always tell the vibe, you know. You can tell the vibe of these authors if they're trying to prove, Prester John exists and, prove India superior is the flow and promised land, America, and the other ones that try to get some documents to disprove or make it imaginary. But we might get some babies out. I'm going to get a couple more paragraphs and I'm going to skip over and start talking about some Amazon queens and maybe come back to this for the dismount. Hey, this is Prester John 121, man. It's all happening, man. Our primary source concerning Eldad is an alleged responsum by the Babylonian John, right? So it's another way of saying John, like Prester John. They'll spell it with the G. Love to the Templar who also showed this. G-A, sometimes a G-E-O-N or G-A-O-N, John, J or G. Remember, the J don't exist, so I think we're getting a little closer here. Ja'un, right? So, head of the yeshiva in Baghdad. Head of the yeshiva in Baghdad. Okay, let's go. Let's just rock with it. Zema ben Haim. They put him 889, 895, written in response to a question sent to him by the Jews of Qarawan. The text begins with their petition, which describes Eldad's arrival and his account of the lost tribes. He reports where each tribe is cited, how they conduct war with their enemies, the righteousness of their king, which they put in parentheses, ADIEL, and their obedience to God's laws. Okay. So they do know about the code, right? The petition goes on to say that the tribes do not possess the Talmud or other post-biblical works, and that they speak and know only Hebrew. All right. I mean, look, man, this is what the report is. All right. So when Columbus brought a Hebrew interpreter Louis Torres over here to convert you like they were converting the Mongols, trying to convert the Mongols and the Indians at the same damn time? Or we're talking the same people, because Mongol means great ones. And they reclassified the Mongols with a whole nother group of people, right? Because now it's a whole nother barbarian and all this. But the barber is the Swanite. And then they made it pros and cons, but the cons are the praise. You see how they flipping it, man? So we're taking about the cons, we're taking back the barbars, the swans, and we're taking back we're taking back the cons and the swan. So these niggas only rocking, with Tanakh. They ain't rocking with no post-biblical New Testament. They ain't rocking with no Talmud. We only know Hebrew. The Iberu, Eber, Keber, Kavera. Huh? Here examples of this strange Hebrew are provided. Strange Hebrew. What they talking about? Picto-paleo? Like ShaLaWam instead of Shalom, right? But the tribes do possess oral traditions coming from the mouth of Joshua, coming from the mouth of Moses, coming from the mouth of the Almighty. Let's go. Let's go. The text then cites a treatise on the laws of ritual slaughter, Halal HaWah, as an example of these traditions. Towards the end of the letter, the petitioners recount the legend of the children of Moses, B'nai Moshe, i.e. the Levites, who after the destruction of the temple were carried by a cloud. Doesn't it say in the book of Exodus, as they are following this cloud, pillar of cloud and all this stuff, right? So, all right, put it together. Children of Moses, carried by a cloud. The cloud is also, by definition, anything transparent that's above you. Like, it doesn't have to be a cloud like you think it is. We could be talking dragon easily, right? Frequency. Cloud. I mean, that's a good, what's a cloud, man? We know what black is, man. But what's a cloud? Ooh, a collection of visible vapor, watery particles suspended in the atmosphere. Right? Okay. Vapors. Okay. All right, man. Somebody said, hey, drop. What's a vapor? We're just talking that water, right? We're talking dragons, man. All right. Water, fire, earth, air. We're talking dragons, elements, right? Let's go. Let's go. Invisible elastic fluid. Rendered airform by heat. Capable of being condensed or brought back to the liquid or solid state. That water. Yeah, visible fluid floating in the atmosphere. Fog, smoke. Smoke like a dragon smoke. Smoke out of his nose. Fire out of his mouth. Psalms 18 type smoke. Substances resembling smoke would also be a cloud. Or wind. Wind could be a cloud. A vapor. So the vapor could be any substance resembling smoke, sometimes filled in the atmosphere, particularly in America. What? Come on, man. Man, say it with me, man. Body bag for the illusion. Come on, man. I can't make this up. Why they gotta single out America when we talking vapors, man? Oh, you got the vapors? Wind, mental fume, vain imagination, unreal. Oh, it sounds like dragon talk. This is crazy. Only in America, boss. Let's go, man. Let's go. So, we having fun, man. It is a victory lap. We are on a warpath, though. We are on a warpath. Hey, the price is going up. The price is going up. We're on a warpath.